Picture this: a live TV studio, bright lights, a packed audience. A journalist with an agenda thinks she's got Ron DeSantis right where she wants him. She's ready to tear him down in front of millions. But hold on, folks. This governor flips the script. He turns her ambush into a moment that'll leave you speechless. By the end, you'll be amazed by what his response caused. Trust me. You can subscribe right now in just 2 seconds and let's start. We're in a bustling studio in Atlanta. It's a warm March evening. The city outside is alive with energy. Inside, the stage is set for a primetime showdown. The set's sleek and modern. It has glass panels and blue lights. A live audience of 200 fills the seats. Their murmurs echo as the show prepares to air. The energy's electric. They know something big's coming. Tonight's guest is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. His name sparks fire on both sides. He's here to talk about his latest policies. But the host has other plans. Those plans are about to backfire in a way no one saw coming. The host, Samantha Reed, steps onto the stage. She's a rising star. She's in her mid-30s. She wears a sharp suit. Her tongue is even sharper. She's known for her biting interviews. Some call her a journalist. Others call her an activist with a microphone. Her segments often trend online. This happens especially when she takes on conservative figures. Tonight, she's got her sights set on DeSantis. She adjusts her earpiece. She flashes a smile to the camera. "Good evening, America," she says. Her voice is smooth. "We've got a big show for you. Joining us is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Let's get started." The audience claps. But there's a tension underneath. Everyone knows Reed doesn't hold back. DeSantis walks out. He's wearing a navy suit. His red tie stands out. His stride is steady. He nods to the crowd. A few cheer. A few murmur. He's no stranger to the spotlight. His 2022 re-election in Florida by a 19% margin made headlines. His policies on education and immigration have made him a hero to some. To others, he's a villain. He shakes Reed's hand. He takes his seat. The camera zooms in. Reed's smile doesn't reach her eyes. "Governor, thanks for being here," she says. Her tone is polite but clipped. "Let's dive right in. Your recent push for mass deportation. Some say it's extreme. Others say it's reckless. What do you say?" The question's loaded. The audience leans in. DeSantis doesn't flinch. "Samantha, I say it's about the rule of law. Florida's a state that values security. We're protecting our citizens." His voice is firm. It's measured. Reed cuts him off. "Protecting citizens or pushing an agenda?" Her tone sharpens. "Let's talk about the real impact. Families torn apart. Communities in fear. Your policies have been called heartless, Governor. How do you sleep at night?" The audience gasps. A few murmur. Reed's going for the jugular. DeSantis stays calm. "I sleep fine. I know I'm doing what's right for Floridians. Your policies have been called heartless, Governor. How do you sleep at night?" The audience gasps. A few murmur. Reed's going for the jugular. DeSantis stays calm. "I sleep fine. I know I'm doing what's right for Floridians. Our laws are clear. We're enforcing them." Reed smirks. "Enforcing or overreaching? Some say you're just a shadow of a former leader. You follow his playbook. There's no originality. Just division." The jab lands. The crowd stirs. A few boo. DeSantis's eyes narrow, but he holds steady. I'm my own man, Samantha. I'm focused on results. I'm not focused on rhetoric. His voice is even. Reed isn't done. She leans forward. Results? Let's talk results. Your education reforms. Banning certain discussions in schools. Critics call it censorship. You've been accused of stifling free thought. Is that the legacy you want? The audience shifts. The question's a minefield. DeSantis adjusts his tie. It's about parental rights, Samantha. Parents should decide what's taught, not activists. We're keeping schools focused on education, not ideology. Reed scoffs. Parental rights or your rights to control. Let's be real, Governor. You're not here for parents. You're here for votes. You're a mini version of a past leader. You have less charm. The audience gasps louder. A few laugh. Reed's playing to the camera. She thinks she's got him. DeSantis doesn't blink. Call it what you want. I'm here for Floridians. The data speaks. Our schools are thriving. Our kids are learning. They're not being indoctrinated. Reed rolls her eyes. Thriving, really? Let's look at the numbers. She pulls up a graphic. Florida's education rankings. Middle of the pack. Not exactly thriving, Governor. Maybe you're the one who needs a lesson, the crowd murmurs. Reed's pushing hard. DeSantis smiles. It's just a hint. Those rankings, Samantha. Let's talk about who funds them. Groups you might know well. The room quiets. Reed's smirk falters. What's that supposed to mean? Her voice is tighter. DeSantis reaches for his tablet. I mean, let's talk about your sources, Samantha. Or should I say, your sponsors. He taps the screen. He pulls up a document. These rankings. Funded by the Progressive Education Alliance. A group you've worked with closely. Correct? Reed's eyes widen. That's irrelevant, she snaps. We're talking about your failures. Not me. DeSantis doesn't back down. Is it irrelevant or inconvenient? Because I've got more. Emails between you and the alliance. Planning this segment. Planning to skew the narrative. The audience gasps. Reed's face flushes. That's nonsense. Her voice wavers. You're deflecting, DeSantis echoes her. Deflecting or exposing. Let's go deeper. These emails show you coordinating with the alliance. You pushed a narrative against my policies. But that's not all, is it, Samantha? He pulls up another document. Financial records. Payments from the alliance to your production company. $50,000. Deposited 3 days before this interview. The crowd erupts. Reed slams her hand on the desk. This is outrageous. These are lies, she shouts. You can't just come on my show and make up stories. DeSantis holds up the tablet. I'm not making up anything. These are public records. Available to anyone who looks. And I looked. Reed's voice rises. You're trying to distract from your own failures, Governor. Your COVID policies. Let's talk about that. Thousands died in Florida. You ignored science. You put lives at risk. She's grasping. DeSantis stays calm. Let's talk about COVID, Samantha. Florida had lower death rates than many mandate-heavy states. We focused on protecting the vulnerable. We kept our economy open. The data proves it. He taps the tablet again. But since you brought up risks, let's talk about who really put lives at risk. Your friends in Big Pharma. Companies you've been tied to. The audience murmurs louder. Reed's eyes dart to her producer offstage. Big Pharma. What are you talking about? Her voice shakes. DeSantis pulls up another file. I'm talking about your connection to MedCorp, a pharmaceutical giant. They profited billions from vaccine mandates. Mandates you pushed on this very show. He shows the screen. Here's the proof. $100,000 in speaking fees from MedCorp to you. Deposited last year, right after you ran a segment praising their vaccine rollout. A rollout I opposed. It ignored natural immunity. The crowd gasps. A few shout. Tell the truth. Reed's composure cracks. This is a setup. You're trying to ruin me, she yells. These are fabricated. You're a liar. DeSantis shakes his head. I don't need to fabricate anything, Samantha. Your own actions speak. They're loud. But let's keep going, shall we? He pulls up a third document. Emails between you and MedCorp executives, discussing how to spin vaccine mandate coverage, how to target governors like me who pushed back, how to make us look reckless. All while you pocketed their money. The audience erupts. Shouts of shame echo through the studio. Reed's face is a mask of panic. This is absurd, she yells. You're making this up. You have no proof. Her voice cracks. The audience isn't buying it. They're on their feet. Some boo. Others film. DeSantis holds up the tablet. It's all here, Samantha. Timestamps, signatures, bank transfers. Public records don't lie, but you've been lying to your viewers for years. Reed's producer signals frantically offstage. She ignores him. You're a fraud, Governor, she snaps. You're just trying to save face. Your policies failed. You failed Florida. You failed America. Her words are desperate. It's a last-ditch effort to regain control. DeSantis doesn't take the bait. Failed, he repeats. Let's talk about failure, Samantha. Your failure to disclose these payments. Your failure to report the truth. Your failure to uphold the integrity you claim to stand for. He turns to the audience. This isn't about me, folks. It's about the truth. The truth she's been hiding from you. The crowd cheers. A few chant DeSantis. Reed's eyes dart to the camera. She's unraveling. Let's go further, DeSantis says. He pulls up another file. Your connection to the Justice Now Alliance. A group that's been funding lawsuits against my education reforms. Here's an email from their director to you, thanking you for shaping the narrative against me. With a promise of a $25,000 bonus after this interview, the audience gasps louder. Reed slams her desk. That's enough, she screams. This is a setup, a conservative plot to silence me. Her voice is shaky. Her hands tremble. DeSantis shakes his head. No plot, Samantha. Just facts. Facts you can't spin. Facts your viewers deserve to know. He turns to the camera. This studio claims to be about truth. But what's the truth when your host is bought and paid for? The crowd roars. Reed's producer signals to cut. The cameras keep rolling. Reed stands. I won't sit here and be slandered, she shouts. You're a liar. A hypocrite. You're everything wrong with this country. Her voice breaks. She's losing it. DeSantis stays seated. He remains calm. Slander? Interesting word, Samantha. Let's talk about your segment last month. The one where you claimed my deportation policies caused a spike in crime. No evidence. Just your word. He taps the tablet. Here's the data. Crime rates in Florida dropped 8% last year. Lowest in a decade. But you wouldn't know that, would you? The Justice Now Alliance told you what to say. The audience boos. Reed's face goes pale. "You're twisting this," she stammers. "You're making me the villain," DeSantis responds. "You made yourself the villain, Samantha. You chose money over truth. You chose agenda over integrity. You chose to ambush me instead of asking real questions." The crowd cheers louder. Reed grabs her notes. She throws them down. "I'm done," she yells. "This interview is over." She storms off the set. Her heels click loudly. The audience jeers. Some shout, "Coward." Others yell, "Tell the truth." The producer scrambles to the desk. We'll be right back after a break." His voice shakes. The damage is done. The camera is cut. The studio's in chaos. The story doesn't end there. Oh no, it's just getting started. Reed disappears backstage. The audience is on their feet. They chant, "DeSantis. DeSantis." The clip of the interview hits X within minutes. It trends under hashtag DeSantisoposes. By morning, it's racked up 5 million views. Conservative commentators call it the takedown of the year. Ron DeSantis just showed the world what real leadership looks like, one posts. Samantha Reed thought she'd bury him. Instead, she buried herself, another writes. Reed's humiliation is complete. Her credibility is shattered. The studio issues a statement. "We're reviewing the allegations. The damage is done." Sponsors pull out. Viewers demand her resignation. Back in the studio, DeSantis stays behind. He shakes hands with audience members. "Thank you, Governor," a woman says. "You spoke for us." He nods. "That's why I'm here," he replies. A man adds, "She got what she deserved." DeSantis smiles. "Truth always wins," he says. The clip keeps spreading. By the next day, it's on every major platform. It reaches 10 million views, then 20 million. Reed's social media is flooded with criticism. "You sold out," one comment. Reed's, "Shame on you," another states. She deactivates her accounts. She goes silent. Her career is in tatters. A week later, the studio announces Reed's indefinite suspension. Pending an internal investigation, they say. The public's verdict is clear. She's done. DeSantis uses the moment to push forward. He speaks at a rally in Miami. "The media wants to silence us," he tells the crowd. "But we won't be silenced. We'll keep fighting for truth." For Florida. For America. The crowd roars. His approval ratings climb. Conservatives across the country hail him as a hero. "That's how you handle bias," a viewer comments online. DeSantis for president, another writes. The moment becomes a turning point. It's a symbol of standing up to corruption. It's a symbol of fighting for what's right. Let's step back. Rewind to that night. Right after the camera's cut, the studio's still buzzing. Audience members are sharing the clip. "Did you see your face?" One says. "She thought she had him." Another laughs. Backstage, Reed's in a meeting with her team. "How did he get that?" she demands. Her voice shakes. "Those emails, those payments, they were supposed to be private." Her producer shakes his head. "They're public records, Samantha." He didn't even have to dig deep. She slumps in her chair. "My career's over," she mutters. "He planned this," the producer sighs. "No, you planned this. You wanted to take him down. You just didn't expect him to be ready." DeSantis is in the green room. He's checking his phone. His team's already tracking the clip's spread. It's at 1 million views, an aide says. And climbing, DeSantis nods. "Good," he says. "Let's make sure the truth keeps getting out there." He posts a statement on X. Tonight showed what happens when you put agenda over integrity. Florida deserves better. America deserves better. The post gets 50,000 likes in an hour. The story's everywhere. Outlets pick it up. DeSantis exposes journalist bias on live TV. One headline reads, Samantha Reed's fall from grace, another states. Reed's humiliation is the talk of the nation. Days later, the fallout continues. The Justice Now Alliance issues a denial. We had no financial ties to Samantha Reed, they claim. The emails are public. Their credibility takes a hit. Their donors start pulling back. We can't support this, one says. MedCorp faces scrutiny. A congressional inquiry is launched. We're looking into their influence on media, a senator announces. This isn't just about one journalist. It's about the system. MedCorp's stock drops 10% in a day. Their CEO issues a statement. We're cooperating fully. The damage is done. Reed's former colleagues distance themselves. She always had an agenda, one leaks. We warned her, another says. Her humiliation isn't just personal. It's a warning to the industry. Play with fire. You get burned. In Florida. DeSantis keeps working. He meets with parents. We're keeping our schools focused on education, he tells them. Not propaganda, they cheer. His policies gain more support. The viral moment has shifted the narrative. Conservatives rally behind him. He's the real deal, a voter says. Not afraid to fight, the clip keeps circulating. It reaches 30 million views, then 40 million. It's a cultural moment. It's a reminder of what happens when you challenge someone who's ready, someone who's armed with the truth. So, what do you think, folks? Did DeSantis's takedown leave you fired up? Smash that like button if it did. Subscribe for more stories like this. Tell me in the comments. What's the next battle you want to see? Media? Courts? Something else? You decide. See you in the next one.